When you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. This map from the medieval world of Magellanica, or this region known as Terra Australis Incognita, reveals something. It was inhabited, and it was not a frozen wasteland. Silence is of great profit. An abundance of speech profiteth nothing. If one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed. For wisdom is all. However, keep thou not silent when evil is spoken. For truth, like the sunlight, shines above all. How many of you would identify with that last statement from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth? Keep thou not silent when evil is spoken. For truth, like the sunlight, shines above all. Thoth was a god of the Egyptians, amongst others. The Bible teaches, of course, have no other gods before me, meaning have no other gods that contradict me. Well, in this particular case, there's no contradiction. Jesus did not keep silent when he came upon the tables of the money changers in the temple. He did not keep silent in the presence of the Pharisees and the Sadducees that attempted to corner him. So this falls in line with biblical teaching. Now, 6 May 2022, ibis remains detected in ancient Egyptian mummy. They found this mummified bird that had been labeled for 98 years as a hawk. But now they've discovered it was actually an ibis. You see, the god Thoth was depicted having the head of an ibis. Ibises were seen as royal in ancient Egypt. What does that have to do with anything? Stick with me. Stick with me. We're going to get back to the map. You see, so many ibises were sacrificed during this era in Egypt that archaeologists have wondered, where did they get so many? 10,000 ibises sacrificed every year. They've theorized that there was a centralized farm to meet the demand, but there's another theory about where they got the ibises from. And it's right, of course, here in the last sentence. Imported from, they say, across the continent, but it could have been from other places. And that's what brings us back to the map. You see, at this time, creating maps wasn't just as simple as running down to Kinko's and running off a few thousand copies. Most of the world, most of the medieval world, could not read. Even fewer could write. So to find somebody, if you were a king or a queen, who could both read and write, who could also draw, who also had access to inks and parchments, and then also find people who had the ability to travel the globe, that was an exceedingly rare thing in the 15th and 16th centuries when this map was created. So when a map was created, it was a monumental undertaking, an event. You did not include things that were inaccurate. Could have cost you your head as a map maker, or somebody charged with exploring the world. Your job was to bring back the most important intelligence report that could be created. That's the key here. Down here they wrote the term Psittacorum Regio. Up here they wrote Patagonum, but then they abbreviated REGN. Period. Patagonum Regional, meaning the region of Patagonia. Down here, Psittacorum regio did not mean region of Psittacorum. It meant royal. Regio meant royal. These maps were created for royalty. They would have been the only ones who had the ability to put together the finances and the trips to create these. Psittacorum, it means parrot. Or in this case, royal parrot. Now, some have speculated that because of where this was, that it meant penguin. I have an entirely different theory based on this word over here. Well, we see provincia. That's Latin. But beach? Beach is not a word that exists in Spanish, French, Italian, or Portuguese. Let me say that again. Beach is not a word that exists in Italian, French, Spanish, or Portuguese, or Latin. This is a mistranslation. This wasn't B-E-A-C-H. It was D. D-E-A-C-H. They missed by one letter. Now, what does Deac Provincia mean? We're going to get to that here in a minute. But let's go back to Psittacorum regio. Regio means royal. This is Teatro Regio in Turin, Italy, the Royal Theater. More modern version, Alla Puerta de tu Casa, Sabor Regio. Royal flavor, not regional flavor, royal flavor. Comidas empacadas al vacío means vacuum packed foods. Carnes, meat. Frutas y verduras, fruits and vegetables. Comida vegana, vegan menu. Productos regionales. See how they show the contrast here. Regional means regionales. Just like back here, R-E-G-N. Instead of writing R-E-G-I-O-N-A-L-E-S to save space, they abbreviated Patagonum Regional. Abarrotes, groceries, bebidas, drinks. You get the idea. Here, pollo, regio, royal chicken. Pollos, asados al carbón, that basically means cooked over charcoal. Point is, regio means royal. This is the royal parrotfinch. Psittacorum means parrot. Psittacorum means parrot. This is the royal parrotfinch. These are all the different, at least the 14 top iterations of the royal parrotfinch. See how this one is green? It's all green with a little bit of white. See how most of them have green in them, other than maybe this one and this one and this one? Let me show you something from Antarctica. It's an image we found a long time ago. I don't know how anybody explains this other than the head of a royal parrotfinch. You can see the eye. You can see the beak. You can even see the green shoulders. And more importantly, Antarctica and Egypt are tied. I believe the people that lived in Antarctica worshipped birds. Because just up and to the right of this, And we're going to confirm this in another image. We see what looks like the upper body and head of an individual, arms outstretched, offering some type of a worship to a bird. Where is that bird? You see another image here. Here's the beak. Here's the eye, the upper head. Now you might say, Florida monkey, you're kind of reaching there. Right in this same area. Two images that look like ibises. One here, where you can see the feathers, the head, the beak, the body, the long feet, the head, the beak. But it gets even better, even more evidence that we have. This is the ibis. This is an Australian one. We even have them in Florida. Most continents have ibises. Now remember that term from the map. DEACH, provincia, or LACH, provincia. When you look this up, and it's very difficult to find, from Middle English, ACHE, from Old French, ACHE, or Latinum apium, parsley, wild celery or parsley. Guess what these creatures feed on? Guess what royal parrotfinches feed on? That's right. Grasses, celeries, parsleys, this type of thing. So on this map, they labeled Psittacorum regio, regional parrotfinch, and an area that many people read as beach provincia. It's not beach. The word beach did not exist to people who would have written Insules Salomones, or Mare Pacificum, or Patagonum Regio, or Regional, or Terra del Fuego, or Fretum Magellanicum. They would have not written the word beach. I can't believe I've missed this for this amount of time. Now, here's the really strange thing about El Ak. It's a region from Algeria described as the crossroads, directions north, west, east, and south, which is exactly how you would describe Antarctica. It's right here in the middle of the Algerian desert, which these folks would have known. This is smoking gun kind of stuff. On this map, everything is written in a language that would have been understood by those who spoke Latin, Spanish, Italian, French, or Portuguese. But this word, BEACH, would have been foreign to them. On a map this old, they would have never included it. It is a mistranslation. It is not BEACH, it is DEACH. De Ac Provincia, which would have fit right along with Psittacorum regio, royal parrotfinch. And if that's the case, this was not a frozen wasteland in the medieval world. There would have been greenery, there would have been jungle, and there would have been deak, or parsley, or greenery of some kind. It sure as heck would not have been Provincial Beach. There's no way they would have written this at this time. This map is hundreds of years old. It is completely written in Latin or Latin-based languages. And that's the key. That's the smoking gun. I'll leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.